Hello, darling hearts. It's your GAPS coach, Emma, here with my breakfast. Mine may not look too appetising to some, but for me, it's the only way to start the day. Stock, chicken stock, or beef stock, or lamb stock, or I don't really care what kind of stock it is, but a cup of stock is going to feed your epithelial cells, which is what lines your gut. And those guys really need some love. They really need some amino acids, they really need some collagen, they really need some gelatin. They need to be coated with these really nourishing foods that actually need virtually no digestion. Okay, the protein in there needs some digestion. The meat in there needs some digestion. But the stock itself is going to go straight in. It's going to soothe that gut lining and it's going to feed you. People talk a lot about, that's my break fast. That's I'm breaking my fast. I haven't eaten all night and now I'm going to break my fast. People talk about intermittent fasting, don't they? Where they say, right, leave only eat within a gap of 8 hours or something. That can be a useful thing to do sometimes. But for a lot of us, and especially those with autoimmune issues or chronic stuff going on, to not eat for the majority of the day might not be such a great idea because, believe it or not, a lot of us, and this was predicted by Rudolf Steiner, a lot of us are actually starving with full plates in front of us. We've got full plates and we're eating, but we're actually starving because we're eating the wrong kinds of foods. So lots of people are actually malnourished, and to not eat for that other portion of the day, it's not such a great move. What we need to do is actually eat foods that are super nourishing but really easy to digest. So, milk kefir eggnog, stock, a soup with well-cooked vegetables. We need to we can just have liquids, for instance. So rather than doing intermittent fast, we could just be having super nourishing liquids for a little while that need hardly any digestion, because that's going to give the digestive system a bit of a break, which is what intermittent fasting is all about. And then we eat our really chunky big food in 1 or 2 meals, just within a window of about 6 to 8 hours during the day. And then we can, really nourish the body and introduce good bacteria regularly, little and often, Everyone's different and everyone needs different stuff. One man's meat is another man's poison. So I'm not suggesting this is right for everyone. In fact, GAPS can be adapted to all sorts of circumstances. We're helping literally children who have failure to thrive, where they literally are sicking up their own mother's milk. They've got reflux and they have the milk and then they just sick it straight back up again because their mother's milk is toxic to them because they're topped up with toxins and they can't handle any more toxins, and the world we live in is so toxic that, so we're helping little ones like that who basically failure to thrive means you just fade away. You stop being nourished and you fade away. We're mending, we're helping, we're sorting it out with the food as the medicine, with GAPS. So it's adaptable. We can use GAPS for chronic things like Crohn's, like celiac disease, for IBS and all sorts of reflux and wind and, cramps and you name it. We can use GAPS specifically to help with hormones because, I won't go into the whys and wherefores, but we can use it for people struggling with PCOS. We can use it for people with painful PMS and hormonal issues, with thyroid issues. We can use it for people with chronic migraines because that's a toxicity. You clean the colon with a coffee enema and you suddenly find out your migraine's gone. We can use GAPS for a myriad of different, issues. Obviously, we can't use the word cure because otherwise you go to jail. But we can ease symptoms greatly using the food as the medicine. So get with the program and never mind about sweet breakfasts. If you are going to crave something sweet, and it's fair enough because we do need sweet stuff and our brain does want a bit of sugar every now and then, especially women of a certain age, and we sleep a lot better with some carbs, But on GAPS, carbs means honey. Sometimes I use molasses. That's not strictly GAPS, but it's full of minerals, so it's really good. And we can make cakes and baked goods and stuff. And lots of vegetables are very high carb as well. So I'm not saying no carbs. I'm saying specific carbohydrates and at a certain time of the day. And all of these things I've learned over the last 15 years, and I'd love to share them with you. So if you're struggling with any kind of chronic anything, I've got a deal on at the moment where you can work with me one-to-one for the next 2 months. And soon I'm going to change my whole way I work, and I'm not going to be doing one-to-ones. It'll all be a course portal, and maybe I'll answer questions, rather than actually meet with people. But I find the people that I do work with one-to-one get some really good results really quite quickly. So take this opportunity if you'd like, and get with the program. See me at timelesscookery.com, and think before you do intermittent fasting. There are other options, and maybe intermittent fasting isn't right for you because we are all a bit starved because of the food system and because of this insistence that five fruit and veg a day. It's not such a great move, in my humble opinion. And I'm not saying don't eat any veg. Anyway, lots of love to you. Have a beautiful day, and see me at Timeless Cookery. Bye.